Welcome! This short video tutorial is meant to help you navigate the San Francisco Foundation's Donor Center. The Donor Center is a secure online portal that makes it easy for you to view your fund's quarterly statements, view the status of your grants, access your giving history, and view your fund's balance, as well as some additional functionality depending on your role within the fund. The Donor Center can be accessed from the San Francisco Foundation's main page at sff.org. At the top of the page, select the Donor Login option from the menu. If this is your first time accessing the Donor Center, you can get started by filling out the email field with the email address that the San Francisco Foundation has on file for you. Once entered, select the Forgot Your Password link below the Login button. You'll be sent an automatic email with instructions for creating a new password for your online account. When you first log in to the Donor Center, you will see this homepage. It's a dashboard providing an overview of your fund. If you're connected to more than one fund at the Foundation, you'll see a gray bar across the top that allows you to toggle between funds. The gray bar will show the fund name as well as your role within that fund. Across the top light blue bar are navigation tabs: Home, My Grants, My Gifts, My Documents, and the Grant Cart. Grants tab shows you a complete view of your grant activity. Approved, submitted, and draft grants. Approved grants showing a G have been granted. Submitted grants showing an R, have been sent to the San Francisco Foundation for review. Draft grants showing numbers representing a date, are still pending in your cart and haven't been submitted to the San Francisco Foundation. You can search grants in two ways. You can sort your grants using the headers above the grant lists, and you can also use the filter function. You can search by grantee name, year, or fund advisor if the fund has more than one individual who can recommend grants. For more information about a grant, click on the orange hyperlink for that grant. The Details tab will show more information such as preferences for mailing lists, anonymity, and the grant schedule. The Related tab has a link for notes and attachments where you can find a copy of the grant letter that was sent to the grantee with the payment. Within the My Grants area, when you see a Give Again button, that means you can clone an existing record to quickly create a repeat grant. Check the box to the left of the grants or grant that you wish to clone in order to create a grant pre-filled with information. Once cloned, they will appear in your grants list. Now, in this Draft Grants area, you can make edits, you can submit, save, and delete individual draft grants, or save and submit all. You can always return to this screen by clicking on the Grant Cart or your shopping cart icon. The My Gifts tab shows a record of gifts into the fund, including donor name, amount, gift date, and gift type. The orange hyperlink to the left opens up more details, and similar to the Grants page, the Related tab has a link to a PDF of the gift receipt. Under the My Documents tab, you'll find another way to access your grant award letters and gift receipts. You'll also have access to your quarterly fund statements and fund agreements, including documents showing any fund changes. To download any of these documents, select by clicking on the box to the left and clicking on the Download Selected Files to zip. Files can also be accessed by clicking on the red preview icon. The last tab in your Donor Center account is the Grant Cart. This will show you your pending draft grants. Back on the home page that you can access by clicking on the house icon in your top menu bar, as you move down the screen, you see a purple Recommend a Grant button. This is a quick link to make a grant recommendation, as this is typically the primary function of the Donor Center. To recommend a grant, click on the purple button. A new screen will appear with your fund and advisor name pre-populated. If there is more than one advisor on your fund, you can change names by clicking on the drop-down menu. Grantee name. Start by searching for the name of the nonprofit in the search bar. Our database will begin to suggest names based on your search. If you do not see the grantee in the preview window, click on the magnifying glass icon to bring up a full list of options. Select the appropriate entity by clicking on their name. If you do not see your grantee listed, click on Create New Organization and enter the name of the organization. Identifying details, such as their website and the city and state they are located in, as well as their tax ID number, will help the San Francisco Foundation confirm the correct organization in our due diligence process. When you are finished, click on Create Organization. If you know the grantee contact or fiscal sponsor details, add them in the next two fields. Similar to the grantee name, you can create a new contact or new fiscal sponsor if they are not found in our database. The eye icon indicates that there is a helpful tip if you have any questions. Enter the grant amount in the Amount Recommended section. Two things to note. The San Francisco Foundation's minimum grant and minimum payment amount is $250. If you intend to make this a recurring or multi-year grant, for example, $250 a month for 1 year totaling a $3,000 grant, or $10,000 per year for the next 3 years, or $30,000, you must enter the full amount in this field. This means that your fund will need to have the total amount available the day that you submit the grant. If this is a recurring or multi-year grant, select Yes in the Multiple Payments field, and then indicate the number of payments, start date, and frequency. The Short Purpose field lets the grantee know what your gift should be used for and is added exactly as you enter it into the grant award letter. Examples include general operating support, a specific campaign or program. The San Francisco Foundation is a strong advocate for general support so that nonprofits can use the funds where it is most needed and the default setting. As a reminder, donor-advised funds cannot be used towards goods or services, and any potential benefits from an event must be waived. Donor-advised funds also cannot be used towards pledge payments or related obligations, or go to an individual. And finally, donor-advised funds cannot support any type of lobbying. The donor and fund anonymity and addressable name apply to whether the grantee organization should receive these details. The addressable name refers to how a grantee should address you in an acknowledgement letter. If you would like the grantee to have this information but prefer your public and recognition to be anonymous, select No for Donor Anonymous and Fund Anonymous. You can indicate your preferences for being contacted under the Opt Out of Organization mailing list and Opt Out of Grantee Thank You letter. If your gift is an honor or memoriam, you may list those details in the special dedication field. For example, this grant is made in honor of Joy Smith. And if you have any instructions to grantee, add them in this field. For example, this could be send a thank you letter to the person I am honoring with the dollar amount omitted. Their email mailing address is, and you can provide that information. Under Send Copy of Letter, Name, Address, list the name and address of those who should receive a copy of the grant award letter. This might include an attorney, accountant, or financial advisor. An example for instructions to the foundation could be, this grantee address is changed. Please update to 101 California Street. Finally, please be sure to read the grant certification language and check the box to confirm that you accept the terms. When you are ready to submit, click on Create Grant. Alternatively, click on Save and New if you have more grants to enter. Once a grant has been submitted, the San Francisco Foundation Grants team reviews each grant to meet IRS compliance regulations and ensures the payment is received by the grantee. Grant payments are made on Thursday and Friday, and recommendations must be submitted by noon on Wednesdays to be included in the weekly run. Sometimes this process may take longer for the following reasons: a new grantee organization that requires follow-up during the due diligence process, a grant recommendation that needs more information or clarification from the donor, grants over $250,000, which require review and approval from the Board of Trustees, a request from the advisor to set up standing ACH payment instructions. A note regarding requesting ACH setup. You may do so in the Instructions to Foundation field, but please remember, do not send bank details to the foundation. We will request this information directly from the grantee for security reasons. Unless specifically requested to only send a grant once ACH has been set up, the first grant will likely be sent by check and sent via ACH in the future once instructions have been confirmed and verified by the receiving organization. On the home page, in the section beginning with Featured Organizations, you will find helpful links for recommended organizations based on timely and relevant topics. Under Donor Tips are how-to guides for using the Donor Center, donation instructions, and a glossary for reading your fund statement. Update My Fund is where primary fund advisors can make updates to the fund for advisors, the asset allocation, and the disposition of assets. In the News and Donor Stories tabs, you will see the San Francisco Foundation's latest newsletter, blog stories, and donor story features. If you would like to be featured here, please let us know. The last two tabs contain details on the San Francisco Foundation's investment pool performance and upcoming events. Towards the bottom of the homepage screen, you'll see a snapshot of your balance sheet, the 5 most recent grants, and the 5 most recent gifts into the fund. To the right, you have quick links that show the full activity for your gift history, grant analysis, and grant making history. Each of these reports can be customized by clicking on the filter button to make adjustments. For example, if you wanted to adjust for the current calendar year, you can type in the custom dates or scroll down to the preset parameter of current year. Finally, when you have completed your tasks in the Donor Center, you can log out by clicking on your name in the upper right-hand corner and selecting Log Out. We hope that you found this video helpful as you navigate the Donor Center. If you have any remaining questions, please email donorservices@sff.org or call our help desk at 415-733-8590. Thank you so much for watching.